Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Arts Council of Surrey Community Gallery here at the Newton Cultural Centre. My name is Wendy Mould. I am the producer of ACS Gallery Talks. I'm here today to introduce you to our featured artists for the month of July, JASWINDER, JOHAL, and Carolyn Sullivan. JASWINDER and Carolyn's show will be here at the Centre until July 29th. You can see it in person, Tuesday to Sunday, 10 to 3:30, or you can see it anytime online. JASWINDER's show is called Beauty of Nature. Carolyn's show is focused on the female experience. JASWINDER is inspired by nature, and her paintings give her joy and happiness, and she wants to share that with her viewers. Carolyn's show has a political focus, the decline of women's human rights in the world. Carolyn is very disturbed about the problems with women's rights worldwide and wants to bring a greater focus on this and using her show. I find the two shows actually are an emotional contrast. One, the rage at what is happening with human rights for women in the world, and the other is the hope and reminder that there are still some pleasant things happening in this world and all is not lost. I'm looking forward to talking to both JASWINDER and Carolyn and learning more about their work. So, let's go meet.
Well, Carolyn, it's really nice to meet you. I haven't seen your work before, and I'm looking forward to hearing about your show. So let's start off with Scheherazade. I understand she is the narrative.
She is, yeah, she's my storyteller, as you can see with her little book here. But the story of Scheherazade is one I absolutely love, excuse me. That she saved her own life by repeatedly telling these stories, and of course some really incredible works of art have been inspired by that story, not to mention the wonderful piece of music by Rimsky-Korsakov. So she is introducing all of the ladies and themes in the remainder of the paintings that I have here.
Oh, very interesting. Well, we'll look forward to hearing more about that. So she comes from your musical background, I understand. So did that influence other pictures as well that we're going to see today?
Absolutely, yeah. I spent many years in classical music and worked in opera for about 10 years. So Scheherazade, inspired by the great Rimsky-Korsakov adaptation of the story, and as well as two others that are also on display right now.
Oh, that's kind of neat. Yes, and as artists, I'm sure we bring in all of our experiences into our work. So very interesting to hear that. Well, let's go on and see one of your other pictures. So this is Aquarius, Between the Realms. And I understand she's like a transition point within our narrative that your show has. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. She is sort of seated in between the prehistoric female figures and the more well-known biblical historic figures, and she came to me really out of a desperate need for a sense of peace. Thus the blues and the sort of water theme in here. She's not of any particular world. She's just existing very peacefully in her own realm.
I see. And can you tell us a little bit about your technique and what your process is? How do you go about, what are you thinking when you start working on a painting?
I have a lot of fun with backgrounds, and this one as well. So I usually start with the background first. I like to sort of build up the layers.
It's kind of neat. I understand where you came about in the painting process itself, but I guess I'd kind of like to know a little bit more about the significance of the things that you've got there and what's happening.
Okay, so like I had said, the blue ties in sort of with the water jug and that strong emotional element. She's very much in a place of emotion. I have most of my early exposure to art was through studying art history, and I really love that sort of the head tilt that all of these women have in Renaissance painting. It's just really, it's very elegant and very graceful, I think. So it's something that I just found myself doing a lot with my female paintings, and hers is quite pronounced.
Well, it makes me want to go back and look at the Mona Lisa to see how her head is tilted. Oh, very interesting. Well, let's move on. Okay, I must tell you, Carolyn, when I looked at this picture and saw the title, View from the Grave, it gave me the creeps.
Excellent.
And I thought, wow, this is powerful in so many ways. Can you kind of, first of all, tell us about how this works with your narrative and what you were thinking with all of this?
I actually did this about 2 years ago. As much as none of us would like to think that things have gone the way they have, to me the writing was on the wall a little bit, and I wanted to show something that was really visceral and a wake-up call that this is what the death of women's rights looks like. It's literal death.
Oh wow, you certainly achieved that, and especially considering what's happening right now in the Western world. Some of the things that you use, what are some of the, to create that foreboding, that horrible drama that you've got there?
Well, they're using this sort of, like, I didn't blend in too much down here because I wanted that sense of spinning a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But with this sort of, what's the word?
Ominous thing.
Ominous, yeah, these ominous storm clouds and these trees that are essentially dead, just kind of falling in around you, the dead person in question.
Oh yes, I tell you, it reminds me of Alfred Hitchcock and the scariest parts of his.
Oh, great.
The whole black and white too, eh? And just those trees reaching over and closing you in. Yes, it's certainly, the view from the grave is very dramatic. And in terms of your show, certainly a dramatic conclusion. So now, what are you going to do from here? What are some of your plans and thoughts in your artist career? Are we going to see more of your work?
Oh, I hope so. I'm really getting so much out of this, and there are some incredible opportunities with the Arts Council. So I'm very hopeful that I will be able to do more work with them in the future. I'm wondering about a future show that's focused solely on these sort of monochromatic landscapes. That might be another appropriate.
Right.
Yeah.
And what about your show, The Fundamentals of Women? Are you planning to add more pictures to the show, or do you feel it's told the story you want to tell?
I don't think I'll ever stop being interested in the feminine experience as a woman, as a grandmother and a mother.
Mm-hmm.
It's always at the forefront of my mind,
Right.
and probably always will be,
Right.
as long as I have daughters and granddaughters.
Yeah, so I predict that you will be doing paintings. Well, this should be part of that group, and this should be part of that group. So we may see this as a whole big expanded show in the future, eh?
That would be lots of fun.
Yeah, you never know. Anyway, well, it's been really interesting chatting with you about your show and seeing some of your work. And I do look forward to seeing it in the future.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for speaking with me today.
Really nice to meet you this afternoon and to talk to you about your art. And so let's have a look at our first picture here that you chose for us to see. Walk Through Autumn. Lovely picture, by the way. I love the colors. Can you tell us a little bit about what drew you to this picture? Why did you paint it?
Sure. Actually, it just catches my eyes. So same with the other people, like when they see it, they feel like, they are kind of like, walking through the outlines. So that's why I named this, painting this. Whenever I see something like catches my eyes, I feel like, drawing it. I just whenever I get time, I draw on a canvas, and I feel like I change, use different things and to make it nicer and look more, natural.
Now, how do you feel when you see something like this? How does this picture spark your emotions?
The colors. I love nature. Everyone likes nature. So I love the colors, like, colors in the leaves and, the ground and the clouds at the back. It's like, early morning. Yeah, when you go for a walk, like early morning, it feels like that. So I just liked it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna paint it.
Right.
So other people can see the same thing, like I see.
Totally agree with you.
Yeah.
As a nature artist myself, I'm really drawn to scenes like this.
Yeah.
And of course, this is an early fall scene, which
Yeah.
is one of my favorite times, yes.
Yeah.
So now, I understand you use some different processes to create this picture. Could you
Yes.
kind of tell us a little bit about the things that you used?
Yeah. So for the big paintings, first I use the sponge colors. First I just color with the big brush, so the background. And for the back, trees here, over here. So I just used sponge, and then I used different brushes here and here, and also the palette knife for the things just give more texture. Yeah.
So it's interesting, no one brush can do a painting, can it? Or no one
Yeah.
set of brushes, we use lots of things.
Lots of things actually. Sometimes I even have to use my fingers.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
just for here, sometimes I just use my fingers.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, very interesting. Let's have a look at another one of your scenes.
Sure. Thank you.
So, this is another dream forest, another nature scene, but completely different from our last
Yeah.
one. Can you tell us, first of all, a little bit about this picture and anything special that we should know about it?
Yeah. So special actually, it was just when I see modern houses, I see paintings. So I feel I should try that one as well. For this painting, whatever is there, if you want to see the beauty, you can see beauty from anything, and you can draw that. The other painting was different, and this is different. So forest, when you see this kind of forest, they also catches your eyes, and you want to paint them. So I also I used that this golden paper in that to make it a little bit more nicer, I would say. And yeah, so I just wanted to use light colors. So that's why just 2 or 3 colors I have used in this painting.
Very effective, you did great job.
Yeah, thank you.
Can you tell us too a little bit about what started you in painting? You were telling me a story about
Yeah.
your...
I would love to share that. Actually, I was really young that time, 5 or 6 years, and I think I was running around, and my mom said okay, let's make a picture, and she drew a policeman on a blackboard, a small blackboard, and she started from the feet, and when she finished it, it was a policeman, really nice one, cartoonish, and I think I started from there. That's what I believe. That was my first, I can't forget that thing. I can forget everything. That is the only thing from my childhood I remember. So from that, I started painting different things. I would paint animals. I would paint flowers, clouds, everything. Yeah.
Wow. So interesting.
Yeah.
And it's funny how those little memories stay in our
That's
mind.
true, yeah.
Okay, well, let's have a look at one of your other pieces.
Sure.
Wow, I really do like this horse here. Dreaming Horse, it's called.
Yeah.
Lovely picture. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so as I told you before that I paint everything, whatever I like, I just paint it. So now in this modern life, in modern time, people like seeing this kind of paintings, but it's also the painting horses. I love painting horses, so I have painted lots of paintings of animals, peacock and dogs and 2 or 3 horses all together.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the horse actually I really liked painting because it's you can feel how he's thinking about something. So I just had a feeling that he's like dreaming about something. It's not just like us human being, they probably like think about something, dream about something. So I just like named it Dreaming House. So yeah, it's like more like, you know, modern art. I wanted to do something like, yeah.
Oh, and totally. I love the flowingness of his mane, and he definitely looks like he's in his own world, so to speak.
Yeah.
Lovely palette too. Yes, it's nice what you've done there. Very interesting. And I understand now you are also do commission work, other animals
Yes.
as well.
Yes. Yeah. So so I give my work to like 2 or 3 stores. So they like, yeah. So I work for them.
Right. So
Yeah.
you're in. So definitely commission work is one of the things you're
One of
looking
the
for in the
things.
future.
That's true. Yeah.
So we're going to be seeing more of your work, I understand. What kind of things are you planning to do?
Yeah. So I'm planning to like put more show my art in like more shows. And yeah, so definitely you will see like my work like, you know,
Right.
for another shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure with COVID things will open up more.
Yeah,
and
I know the things are really slow, kind of like, yeah, so I'm just waiting for that time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, very interesting. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of your work, Jaswinder.
Thank you,
And it's
Wendy.
been very nice to chat with you today.
Thank you, Wendy.
All
Thank you
right.
so much for your time.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
welcome.
Jaswinder and Carolyn's shows can be seen here at the Newton Cultural Center until July 29th or online at the artscouncilofsurrey.ca.